everyone. In this video, we will see how to connect a real-time clock module with the Raspberry Pi Pico and use the data related to date, time and month and some other calendar data into our Raspberry Pi Pico's MicroPython programs. So first we will look at the circuit diagram. Here you can see this is the RTC module and we are connecting the module to the Raspberry Pi Pico through the I2C or I2C communication protocol, which has two wires. This wire is the serial data SDA, which connects the SDA pin of the RTC module to the pin number, physical pin number 1 or the GPIO 0. This. Now the serial clock pin SCL pin of the RTC module is connected to the GPIO 1 or the physical pin number 2 of the Raspberry Pi Pico. This wire will give the 3.3 voltage to the RTC module, and this wire is connected to the ground of the RTC module. This is the RTC module, and here we are using a 3-volt coin battery. So this is the circuit, and let us now run the MicroPython script and see the code working in action. It is saying that the I2C scan result, it is returning these two addresses. This address is for the onboard data chip that stores data, that is an EPROM, and this address is for the clock. Now I2C connection is successful. It is asking, would you like to change the default date and time data? So if you are using the module for the first time, you should type yes and enter the current date and time. But if you want to check what is the present date and time data on this RTC module, first you enter N and hit the enter. It will show you the current date and time that is already stored in the module. Because I have used the module, this current date and time is the accurate one. So I will stop the program and I will run it again. This time I will enter Y. Y for yes, because I would like to change the default date and time that is already stored RTC module. So now it will ask me about the year. So we will enter the present year 2021. It will ask you the month. You have to enter 1 for January and 2 for February, 3 for March and so on. So we will enter 3 for March. It will ask you about the date. The current date is 14th of March. It will ask you day. It is 0 for Sunday, 1 for Monday, 2 for Tuesday and so on. So today is Sunday, so we will enter 0. It will ask you about the hours, the current hours in 24-hour format. So the current time is 5. So I will enter 17. And the current minutes are 8. So I will enter 8. And second is, I can say approximately 30 seconds. So now the current time is set to, this first column is showing the year, second column is showing the month in terms of code, 3 for March. This third column is showing you the current date, 14th of March. This fourth column will tell you about the day, 0 for Sunday. If it was 1, it will mean Monday, 2 for Tuesday, 3 for Wednesday and so on. Now this column, it is showing you the hours in 24-hour format. 17 means 17 stands for 5 p.m. this column 9, it shows you the current minutes, 9 minutes, and this the second last one, it is showing you the current seconds. You can see that it is updating at every 1 second, and this last column, this data we will not use in the program. So now you just see this after this 44 45 will reach 60, this will update by 1 minute. So first you see that the seconds are increasing and now the minute will increase. Now as soon as the second becomes 0, the minute is increment by 1. So now let us see what will happen if we stop the code and we remove the RTC module. So let us see if it will store the current time and date. So it is 10:25. So we will stop it. And now let us remove the power cables of this RTC module. Okay, so now I have removed the power cable of the RTC module. Let us wait for some time. And now let us connect the power cables again. This is the ground and this is the 3.3 volt pin. Now let us see if it is maintaining the current date and time. It is almost 1 minute. Now let us run the program. This time I do not want to change the default date and time because already in the previous part I have set it to the current date and time. So here I will put N because I do not want to change the date and time again. It will display you the current date and time and then it will serially print the data. So now as you can see, we stopped the program at this column was 10, the minutes was 10, and now when we start the program the minutes are 11 and almost it is coming near to 12 minutes. So almost a gap of 2 minutes. So now in this way we can confirm that the sensor or the RTC module is maintaining its date and time even when the external powers are removed. So this is the demonstration of this video, and now let me tell you about the MicroPython script. So here we are using a library which is by the name DS1307. So first thing which you have to do is go to the comment section or go to the description of the video and download this DS1307.py file, and then you have to go to the files of your Raspberry Pi Pico and you have to save in the flash memory. You have to save this file by the name ds1307.py in the same way as you install any other third-party library. Now after you have installed the library you have to import the required libraries. From machine you have to import I2C or I2C and pin, and from this library which we have just installed DS1307 you have to import DS1307, and this library is written by Mike and we would like to give him the credit of this library, and we are using this library because it makes the implementation of the code very easy and it saves us a lot of time. And now you have to import this microtime module. Now you have to declare two pins for the I2C communication. First will be the serial clock, second will be the serial data. SCL pin is the serial clock pin at GPIO 1, SDA pin is the serial data pin at GPIO 0 here. SD is the serial data at GPIO0, SCL is the serial clock at GPIO1. We are using this I2C channel number 0. Now you have to initiate this I2C. So first you will make I2C object. You will use this constructor I2C which you have earlier imported. You will give the positional argument. This is the ID. Because we are using this I2C 0, so we will put 0 there. This is the positional argument. Now you will enter the keyword arguments. SCL equals to SCL pin. This SCL pin which is GPIO1. SDA is the data pin. We will make it equal to the SDA pin. This SDA pin which we have already defined for pin number 0. And now you have to set the frequency of the I2C communication. In this case we will set it to 400,000. This is also a named argument, and this is I think the maximum frequency that this I2C supports, but I am not sure here. So please you have to verify the facts. Now for serial printing we will make this method I2C scan on this I2C object. This scan will take this I2C object and it will store the result in this. It will scan the I2C bus for the available devices. Now print I2C scan result, and thus you have to print whatever this result variable stores. If the result is not equal to this empty array, you will print I2C connection successful, because whenever the connection is successful, you will find something like two values, because one will be for the clock and the other value will be for the onboard memory. So if this is empty, this is not empty, you will say that the connection is successful. Else you will print retry. This will help us identify where the errors are occurring. Now you have to make the clock object at the dedicated I2C port. You will make this object clock object. You can name it anything. Now you have to use this class which you have imported from DS1307. You have to use this class and give the I2C object in this class. It will create a clock object. Now you have to enable the RTC module. So on this object, clock object, you will use this method halt with a parameter false. So what this will do is it will enable the onboard 32 kHz crystal, and it will enable the crystal. RTC module will be set for taking times. Now you have to make a variable choice and you have to ask the user that would you like to change the default date and time, and give two options, Y and N. If the choice is equal to Y, you will print set the default date and time data. You will ask users about these data: year, month, date, day, hour, minute and second. These are normal input statements, and convert them into integers. Now you make a tuple of all these variables. These 7 variables. First is the year, second is the month, third is the date, fourth is the day, fifth is the hour, sixth is the minute, seventh is the second. And this one is not used in the program, but you have to give it, because whatever is there in the library will only take 8 parameters. So you have to give it 0, or you can give it any other value, but it will not be utilized in the code. Now you have to make this clock object and apply this date time and pass this as the parameter. Now this is the current time. You have to pass this as a parameter in this date time function. This date time function is defined inside this class of DS1307 library. So what it will do is it will set the current date time into this clock object, and this is the case else when the user has entered no or n. In that case you have to print the already existing default values. So these are just normal printing statements. It will print year, month, date, and it will take the default 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It will print the default data. This is the default data that will come into this variable by applying the datetime method on this clock object. Now while true, you will make this tuple. This is the variable which we will not use, and you have to make it equal to the clock object dot datetime method. You have to give a 1 second of sleep, then print clock object dot datetime serially.